Greetings, citizens! Welcome back to the Coalition Deadboys podcast. Wearing our
guys.
wrist shirts today. I'm Matt.
I'm Nathan.
And we're going to forego a lot of our usual pleasantries because, and I'm sure you all noticed, this is going to be a longer episode than we usually do, but that's because we are starting our Grand World Tour. We're going to follow in the footsteps of we've decided that, like all of the best games of sneaky and subterfuge and cunning individuals, we have decided that, like all the great mercenary companies out there, we're going to follow a death head taco truck to adventure. So let us just begin. All we're going to touch on briefly is Palladium Books is alive and well for MDC News, and the open house is next year. Hope to see everybody there. And SDC News. We both run games, we both podcast about our games, and we'll share the links. There you go.
Absolutely.
Keep that nice and short. So we're just going to jump right on into it. What are we talking about today? In honor of both back to school, and because this probably won't get out till next month, in honor of
Vampires.
All Hallows Eve, it is vampires.
Vampires and vampires and vampires.
Oh, yes. In a world of rifts where every vampire is more powerful and stronger than Strahd could ever hope to be.
Oh my
now,
heavens.
Let's get into this. Boo me all you want. I don't care. Yes, feed me your pain. Your government lives on pain. We can be sustained by pain. In fact, we're going to tax it. So be in pain all you want. That's more money. That's more for your government.
Mo for you.
More for your government. Yeah. To start this off, Rift's vampires. What makes the Rift's vampires more unique? And to back up the bragging that I'm probably going to get lynched over, what makes the Rift vampires unique from other vampires in the system? Now, lots of vampires in the system have immunities, invulnerabilities, can only be harmed by this, that, or the other.
Right, garlic and crosses
so,
and whatever else.
What is that? Well, no, let's see, because a lot of them actually don't
Sunlight
hold that. See, D&D 5e, the cross doesn't do jack.
And if you've done World of Darkness, their vampires are super different too.
Oh,
with
yes.
a lot of resistances. But
I will give.
what I love.
So I will give Strahd that. You can't hold him at bay with a cross. All right, Strahd, you won that time.
I love how other systems played the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
But and I talked to Aaron once about this. He's like the Palladium vampire is absolutely by far the most powerful vampire that you'll ever encounter in basically any game. Okay. I was like, I was startled because I was like, wait a minute, because there's other games, and other games have the vampire too. And he's like, no. Seriously, he's played multiple games and multiple systems, more systems than I have. And he's like, these guys, some of the other game systems, they play on the weaknesses of the vampire more than they play upon the strengths.
Oh, yes.
And when you're talking about the Palladium vampire, you're talking about the thing that it encompasses all of the strength of a vampire. Granted, the weaknesses are still there.
Yes.
You can still be held at bay. You can still, you can still be killed. But you know what it takes to kill a vampire in Palladium versus to kill them in other games? Like in other games,
we can start with the first one. And I didn't realize, that this was not a home rule of yours. This actually is from the book. Mm-hmm. Is that so? First and foremost, for as much. So let's discuss. So to discuss some of the similarities. First of all, so most games say that vampires are strong.
They are.
Most games
they
indicate
supernatural strength.
Most games indicate
speed.
that vampires can turn into things. They can shapeshift.
Wolves and bats and mist.
Actually, and just bats. Actually, most of them is just the bat.
Most of them's just bats.
Ooh. Well, so we can start right there.
So
in most games where vampire obviously can turn into a bat, but in the world of Palladium, the vampire can turn into a bat, a wolf, or mist.
So
good luck fighting that.
Yeah, exactly. You swing your sword at you, and you're thinking, I got this guy. He turns to mist, and your sword hits nothing but air.
Even if your sword is made of silver or wood.
Exactly.
Now, in this game, this game shares that. This game shares that specifically, but which a lot of games don't. So we kind of have to hand that one to D&D because a conventional weapon made of wood won't hurt a vampire, but in this game it actually will. Vampires can be harmed by wooden weapons.
Right.
They just can.
You could bludgeon a bludgeon a vampire to unconsciousness.
You can.
Can't kill him with beating him
to
death. You can't beat him to death.
But therein comes the trade-off. For as much as it will do damage, you can't kill him with it. Same with a silver weapon.
I love that, though.
You can beat him up all you want with it, but it will not kill them. Now, we'll talk about what it actually takes in the process therein to kill an actual Palladium vampire in a minute. But we're talking about similarities. Because in other games, again, we've got D&D, you've got Vampire the Masquerade, you've also got...
In Masquerade,
you've also got Pathfinder.
Sunlight. Oh, Pathfinder has a vampire?
Yes, they do.
I had no idea.
And also... one of the other really big ones, out there spinning, Savage Worlds. Even though Rifts has
Savage Worlds has their thing. I'm yet to play Savage Worlds. I need to play that still.
And some of the new ones they've come out with. Just again for everyone to give everyone a heads up, G.I. Joe actually has a new role playing game that's come out. As so has. Transformers, and they're all made by they're Hasbro. Hasbro has their own. Hasbro's made D20 based game systems for both GI Joe and
might be worth checking out.
And Transformers. I don't think they have vampires though, but
no,
I'm just letting you know. And as far as but the biggest game out there spinning apart from Palladium books is D&D. And in D&D with a vampire, the vampires actually are not harmed by wood, but they are harmed by silver. They're not harmed by wood, no, but they are harmed by silver. And when it comes to in D&D, with silver, you actually can kill the thing. You can chop up a vampire with silver weapons, and they actually will die.
Okay.
They'll be dead. Now, when it comes to wood in D&D, a wooden stake through a vampire's heart will incapacitate it and kill it, but you have to do that while the vampire's asleep. Or again,
I like that. The similarity comes. You had to play on their vulnerabilities.
And the similarity comes in D&D as it comes in the World of Rifts, in that a wooden stake through the vampire's heart will incapacitate it.
Right, and that's classic. I mean,
classic.
Let's face it. In a lot of films and novels and whatever else, you stake that guy through the heart, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Now, getting back to the symbol of the cross. In Palladium games, the symbol of the cross is the
holy symbols.
Palladium games is the only game that actually holds up to that.
All holy symbols will ward off.
But that's what the game specifies.
But it says you have to have belief in the holy system.
Yes.
Otherwise, it doesn't work. In other words, for the coalition who are not faithful people.
Oh yeah.
The cross will not work.
So it plays into the magic system. Then it plays into the. It actually plays into the deity realms that exist in the play.
Yeah. Meanwhile, mercenary companies, and other people who have a strong faith in something, those crosses work just fine. And
now let's get this whole powers and similarities things wrapped up here really quick, because we're going to talk about that mercenary whose belief makes that work all the time. We'll get to him in a minute.
I was going to throw out the surprise yet. All right, keep going.
We'll get to him in a minute. Additional powers and abilities. Vampires have a hypnotic gaze.
Hypnotic.
This comes up in a lot of systems.
In movies. It comes up in movies, too.
Oh, and other game systems.
Yeah, right.
Most of the game systems have that, too.
Right. And the hypnotic gaze,
both Strahd and Master Vampires have a power of suggestion
of some sign, yeah, and I absolutely love it. I think,
but in this game, all the vampires have it. Doesn't matter what vampire you are, they all have it.
Oh yeah, it's so nasty.
Have fun.
What makes it even worse is because of the different variants of vampires. Mm-hmm. Even in the Palladium system, there's vampire variants in Rifts Russia.
Oh yes.
There's some in Rifts Australia. So
I don't think you were there for this one, but in our Japan game, we fought a Chinese vampire.
see,
So,
I love that Palladium doesn't just say, "All right, we only have one type of vampire."
oh, we got lots of them.
They went into all of the variants, and kept true to the variants too, which is kind of nice too. So, which means didn't matter if you had vampire lore.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it was important that you had vampire
Actually, it was very
lore
important.
because you like wait a minute.
Well, vampires have their own lore in the world.
In the various parts of the
in
world.
Palladium, in Rifts, yes, vampires have their own lore.
And it's weird because they have the traditional vampire, and then they have various vampires from various parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing your vampire lore, super helpful. Hypnotic gazes, changes in the mist. You're not sure who's doing what or who's capable of doing what unless you had the lore, and the lore really played into those things. Like when you're like, okay, you have one skill for just one type of creature, you're like, that's kind of dumb. But now you have the one skill for so many different types of the same type of creature. That's super useful. Yeah. Especially if you did like a vampire hunting company that was worldwide in your Rifts game. Let's say, you're like, you chased a vampire. Ooh, a vampire chase game. Mm-hmm. And the vampire goes worldwide. He hangs out with his homies in other parts of the world. Now your skill is super needed.
Oh yeah.
Might be a great idea, guys.
Oh yes. Now, so continue on. Now I'm going to cover another really basic one. So we've covered metamorphosis. We've covered the hypnotic gaze. Mm-hmm. Rifts vampires vulnerable to wood and silver, but it can't kill them. A stake through the heart in the Rifts vampire book will incapacitate it. Same with silver. A weapon made of silver through a vampire's heart will incapacitate it.
Has to be the heart.
And it has to be the heart. And we're going to cover the big game mechanic that makes Rifts vampires the deadliest fight you're ever going to come up against. Dude. This is the one that I was referring to. I thought this was a home rule of yours. It actually isn't. It's in the book. Is you have to roll an unmodified 18 or better to hit a vampire in the heart.
Unmodified. I don't care if you have a plus 10 to strike. Unmodified. And you rolled your 8. Too bad. You got really close. Nothing.
Which also gives vampires the actual option to simultaneously attack you all the time, which that's not fun either. For those of you who are not familiar in the Palladium system, the simultaneous attack, this happens usually when you're attacking a target that knows your attack's not going to hurt him, and you can just attack them back, which means that you don't defend. You know, when you both roll instead of to defend,
right?
You both just attack each other and you both just hit each other.
That's right.
Now, this is not a great thing to do because that means that you both clobber each other and you both probably killed each other. Unless one of you knows that the incoming attack ain't going to hurt you.
Well, yeah, you have to be fully aware of what you're up against.
So, Rifts vampires, a lot of time, they will simultaneously attack you because they know that whatever you're going to do isn't going to hurt them.
You whip out that railgun.
But they're going to hurt you.
You think that
they're going to hurt you bad.
5d6 is going to do something? It don't do dilly squat. It might knock them over.
And why we can also say that the vampire is going to hurt you bad is in the Palladium system, there are tiers of greater strength, of which there's like your basic strength, there's extraordinary or augmented strength, robots, cyborgs, juicers,
robot strength,
crazies, this, that, and the other. And then there is supernatural strength, which is, when it comes to lift, carry, and throw. The game system kind of just slaps a 0 on the end of these. That's how you measure the strength. With your regular physical strength, it's times 10. With the augmented, it's times 100. It's times 50. And then with supernatural, it's times 100. So those are the strength tiers. And vampires have supernatural strength, which means that their natural raw abilities deal mega damage. So unless you have mega damage capacity, the vampire just gets to rip you to pieces and do whatever it wants with you because you can't stop him.
No.
Dangerous critters.
One vampire can take out an entire village. No problems.
Now, the big one that Rifts has that the others don't, but there's another big one that the others have that Rifts does not. So we're going to cover those right now. The big one that Rifts has that others don't, vulnerable to running water. Rifts is the only game I know where a squirt gun hurts vampires.
will ward off a vampire.
And can even kill it. You can waterlog a vampire to death. You actually can.
You better be packing seriously.
But, well, they have to be minus their. It's like actually killing
minus
someone.
30.
It's
or
like
50 or
no. It's like actually killing someone in D&D. They have to be in the negative, equal to their starting max, to be dead.
Holy crap! That's still pretty.
But
heavy.
still, have hope. You can waterlog that critter to death. You can.
You could drown him, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Now, but that's one that nobody else has. Now,
And that's why vampires...
Holy water hurts vampires and rifts just like it hurts them in any other game.
Every
if
game,
it's holy water, it still works. No matter what other game you're playing, as long as it's holy water. Masquerade and Hunter are both big on this because priests will load up squirt guns with holy water and shoot vampires. That's how you shoot a vampire to death in Vampire Masquerade if you don't want to spend like the million. I know, if you don't want to spend millions of dollars on silver weapons, yes,
millions of dollars on silver weapons.
You can get actual holy water on eBay for only like $50 in that game. So it's a lot easier.
It's like a scam.
It's a lot easier to load.
Scam so bad.
In Vampire the Masquerade, it's a lot easier to load up your pistol with load up a water pistol with holy water.
This is not holy water.
Oh
crap! I'm screwed.
Well, that is always the risk. In Netflix's Castlevania, they cover that in season 1 as a brilliant thing, where Simon Belmont, when he's teaching the people how to actually fight back against the demons, one of the things that he specifically says is, make sure the water is blessed by a priest who has been properly ordained.
Oh!
He specifically...
What about eBay ordained, right? Or
he specifically makes that note ordained. To say properly ordained.
I can
a priest that has been properly ordained.
For you.
Yes. But so that's one that Rifts has that not a lot of other games have, unless it's holy. But in Rifts, no, the water doesn't have to be holy.
Nope.
All you need is a sink.
Oh,
and a squirt gun.
And the other thing that they played on is that vampires cannot just barge into a person's house.
No,
they have to be invited. They cannot pass the threshold of a person's house.
Does Rifts have that?
Yes.
Really?
And
I didn't think. I thought that was one of those rules that Rifts didn't have.
Oh no! They will circle your house like vultures.
No, but I thought that's why you had to put garlic and crosses over your doors and your.
Well, that's probably
windows.
What they do too. And salt on a threshold also keeps a vampire at bay.
Yeah, it will.
So once you've invited them into the house, they can go into any room in the house. So you have to put salt on the threshold, otherwise they can't.
Which I guess is also what they're referring to, because like if you're in a hotel, and of course the hotel guy is just going to be like,
come on
someone
in.
will just be like, I'm sorry, I'm cold. Can I come in? And of course the hotel guy will just say, come on in. Which is why at that point the vampire guy, the vampire hunter guy has to be like, oh crap, he just let that stupid monster in. So I got to drape some garlic over my things. Okay, and really quick, yes, garlic works on Rift Vampires too. But then again, garlic is one of those universal things that most games will apply. Masquerade, as well as D&D 5e, garlic will make the creatures retch, repulse. It drives them away. They just can't stand it. Nope. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I still like that.
They refer to it as like tear or mustard gas. I mean, it's not going to hurt them badly, but.
And by not badly, I mean yes, a little bit. It's an annoyance.
It is unpleasant.
An irritant.
It is unpleasant enough to stop them or give you time to keep running.
To run away, yes. Run away.
Yes. But now one that like all the other games have, but Rifts does not. Vampires are vulnerable to magic weapons, but not in Rifts.
Yeah, they are.
No, not. Vampires are vulnerable to magic spells. They can be affected by spells. Magic net, illusions, things, carpet of adhesion, everyone's favorite. But magic weapons don't hurt vampires. Not as a rule. The weapon has to specifically say
that this actually
that the weapon has to specifically say that will hurt vampires. Otherwise, it doesn't.
Which means you're not casting. You're like saying, "Oh, we're doing a magic game."
And physical spells don't hurt. Yeah, and physical spells don't hurt them either, unless they're made of wood. Which is why a biomancer is actually the toughest wizard you can have in a vampire game. The biomancer's on the bottom of the stack. In any other game you're running, But not in a vampire game. In a
Oh, my
vampire game, the
heavens.
Biomancer is suddenly the
top
toughest
game.
He's the toughest wizard you
Meanest.
could actually have. Yes. The guy who's all about creating wood and life is suddenly the
Now, I don't
Zergeist.
know if we're going to cover this, but and you can stop me. Are we going to talk about necromancy?
Not today.
Okay.
Necromancy's fun, but not today.
Well, because Reed covers it. So
World Book 4 and World Book 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so but that's the one that a lot of game systems have, but that Rifts specifically doesn't. In every other game system out there, a magic weapon will hurt a vampire, but in Rifts, if the weapon don't say or the spell don't say, it don't fly.
it don't fly.
Vampires will shrug your magical spell off just as anything and keep eating you.
Oh, jeez.
Rifts vampires do feed on blood. This is very true.
Yes.
And in the world of Rifts,
And it's weird because-
animal blood actually will not cut it. Has to be human.
It will cut it a little bit. Also, in Nightbane,
Yeah.
the doppelgangers,
Yes.
their blood doesn't cut it either. They want human blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that interesting because you're like, oh yeah, well because it covers. I mean, vampires are covered a lot in the World Wars, and we won't cover Nightbane as much.
No.
But it does make reference to it.
Nice.
But
don't despair. If you want yourself to have if you want to make a freaking vegan vampire,
Good luck with that play with someone else.
who survives on lesser blood or doppelganger fluids,
Rats.
you go, you go, man.
Oof.
But that's gonna be one skinny and very hangry all the time vampire. You remember when you made Panicula? Your guy was Your guy was a
always
mess all the
hungry.
time because the
He
girls
was always
wouldn't
hungry.
let you feed.
Oh my heavens!
Girls were keeping you on a diet.
I was on a Twitch big time all the time.
There's a reason you look like the skinny anime character that you were.
Oh my heavens! And it was awesome. It was fun to play.
They weren't letting you eat.
I did like. Oh, that's the one thing. Other than World of Darkness, vampires can be played in
Yes, they
in
can.
Palladium, and in Rifts, and in Nightbane, and on.
This
in the Palladium universe.
This is the big sales pitch.
The Megaverse.
If we give you no other sales pitch, hey, just like you can play a dragon, you can also be a vampire in the world of Rifts. You can
That's
play
right.
as one.
You can play.
You can play as one of these horrible things.
Now, for those who say vampires are too much, too powerful, you can play Sight Stalker. Those guys are essence suckers.
Yeah.
And those are practically vampires too.
Just make sure you have a Psy Stalker in the party, and that vampire will be as dainty as a doily.
Baby.
So
If he doesn't kill you first.
The last one. Let's not overlook the very last one. Last but not least, sunlight. Universally, even Strahd don't go down to the beach. Okay, universally, the raw, unyielding, warm, naked light of day
Will kill
will
you
deal
so
ridiculous
fast.
damage to vampires and usually kill them in a matter of minutes, if not seconds.
So you throw them out the door and close the door,
Well, it's 1d6 times 10
and
per...
then put salt on the door.
Well, it is. It's 1d6 times 10 per melee they're out there.
That
That means per 10 seconds they're out there. Yeah, it's
Melty.
up to 60 points of damage they're going to take. I mean, that's...
Oh my heavens!
Yeah, you don't laugh that off, not in any
No.
game. So, differences between the Rifts vampires and other vampires, there you have it. Now, how do you actually kill it? Nate, take it away.
Oh my gosh, it's so involved. I mean, obviously you could throw it out in the sun and bake it,
Yes.
and that does take a while. I mean, 350 degrees
No.
for half an hour. And,
That 2 or 3 melee, that's a lot of combat.
and you have to
more or less.
survive that
That's
too.
a lot of combat. More or less.
But I love what Palladium has done.
Because
by
that
saying-
vampire might decide that you're a good umbrella. That vampire might decide you're a pretty good piece of shade. So
Yeah, and just wear you until he's okay again.
wow.
But the real way, and I love the way the Palladium did this, is said, listen, you had to cut off his head, put him in 2 different funeral pyres,
Hold it.
and set them both on fire, and burn them.
But first,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have to stick that bad boy in the heart. And again, roll the natural 18 or better.
So now that you got the stake in, then what?
Cut off its head. Now it's vulnerable to getting its head cut off.
Now you can hurt him with anything.
Yeah.
Now anything goes.
And you carve him like a turkey and...
No, well, it's a magic ritual. The book says that. Because now, once you got that stake through its heart, the ritual has now begun. Now the vampire has lost its powers. Now the vampire is...
It's literally pinned to the ground.
It is
pinned to the earth.
And pinned to this... Yes, like it's pinned to the realm, yes.
Now, you could throw it in the lake or into the river, and again, it has to be flowing, running water. You just can't piss on it. And they actually just
I'm glad that you brought that distinction up. That's why it has to be a water pistol, because it has to be water in motion. Bathtubs won't work. Swimming pools don't work.
Nope.
Lakes don't work because the water's not moving. It's placid.
It might hurt them falling into the water.
Yeah, they'll be hurt falling in, but
they'll
jump right back out, and they'll just be pissed. So again, the ocean works, or it has to be like a river or a stream. The water has to be moving.
And the crazy thing about this, I love that because the people who don't have the skill of vampire lore stick it through the heart and they're like, we're done. Let's go home. Meanwhile, their buddy just comes out of the shadow and goes, yoink. I can't believe you let someone do this to you.
You forgot your stick.
You forgot your stick.
I had that in the game. It didn't even dawn on me. Because the one girl got the stake in the vampire's heart, right?
Right.
But then it was just in the other girl's nature. She just kind of saw that. And she's like, wait, you need your stake. And so she pulled the stake out of the vampire.
She pulled the stake out.
Nobody was thinking, myself included, until I'm like, oh. And so later in the game, this vampire came back and was attacking people again. I'm like, wait, we killed that guy. I'm like, I had to look at the...
No, you didn't.
I won't name names, right? But I just kind of look at the one player. I'm like, well, you pulled it out and you brought it back to her. And she said, it wasn't dead. I'm like, no, it was stuck.
No,
dead. No,
you were close. No. You started the process.
You started.
Oh my heavens!
It was cute. It was fun. It really was. Even though
it makes for good roleplay. Makes for a good story.
Well, it makes for a great podcasting story. Yeah. So. And your government fully supports, yes, good storytelling. Now, I got that stake in.
Okay,
I got his head cut off. Now what?
Okay, you need to separate them. They will try to find each other, apparently. You can't just bury the two in separate,
Okay, now, I'm not trying to trick you, but what exactly happens if we don't? Will we suddenly have two vampires?
No. What happens is the head breaks down and then just reforms on the body.
Yes, it does.
Which I thought was cool, too.
The book specifies that, you won't have two vampires, but you
got that much going
But you can go either way.
And
the head can grow a new body, or the body can grow a new head.
That's right. If you burn one and not the other,
it will still come back. Because, again, the head will grow a new body, or the body will grow a new head.
So, yeah.
That's the way of it.
What the?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah, it's my wife's birthday.
You look like a shoe.
I gotta make sure.
I've forgotten how to rhyme.
La 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 la.
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah.
Cake.
Better than the actual song, man. Yes, yes. So while we're singing "Happy Birthday" to your wife, and we're
yes.
So let's talk about vampires.
Yeah. Let's. Sorry. Whoa. No, my sweetheart's awesome.
Yeah, she is. So, and we've discussed. Okay, so we discussed all the differences. We discussed, and now, right. So once you have them separated, last step.
To set it on fire.
Burn them both.
You know what that means?
Or burn them both, or
chuck them in the water. Chuck them in the rolling streams.
Burying them works too.
Oh.
Bury the head and body separately. That works too.
I thought. Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
That's yeah.
All right.
So, there you
It's
go.
been a while since I fought vampires.
Well, fire and water are easier. Fire and moving water are probably a little bit easier to find rather than you having to dig a hole and
ugh, my
put the
heavens.
body in.
Be careful, he bites.
But again, this is one of those conventional uses of mega damage weaponry because that very simple pistol, which you might not think much of later on in the game as you get more powerful weapons, but that 1d6 mega damage, that makes a decently big hole if you need to bury something.
I suppose it does. I hadn't thought about that. Wow.
Well, or, Viro knife, open the ground. Yeah, there you go, and pull the body in. Yeah, you still have to fill it in, but again, don't.
Cowboy funeral, just kick a little bit of dirt on him.
This is the side note for this podcast: is the greater conventional uses for the lower mega damage weapons when you reach the powerful.
Oh my gosh!
When you're in a more powerful game.
Oh no!
Great for burying supernatural creatures that
burying
need
the
burying.
dead. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead.
If you ever need an instant hole, yeah. Or there's one. This was more brilliant than I ever thought. It actually happened in a Dead Rain one-off because it works that way when you bury zombies as well. So what somebody did was they leveled a building on top of all the zombies and buried them all, and thus got rid of them all.
Oh my heavens!
I thought that was brilliant.
It is,
So,
but wow. I need to play Dead Rain.
So
I've got all the books.
But I'm just saying it's easy. That's easier to do in Rifts than any other game out there spinning. So
Oh yeah, you blow out one of the support beams of the building and then you drop it.
any mega damage weapon you have will make quick work of that foundation, and the whole building will
Especially
just
if you
come.
got a boom gun.
Will just come right down. Well, use a boom gun, nothing's left. Boom guns are
No. Seriously.
boom guns are city killers, man. Well, they are.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Well, and you weren't there when poor Aaron decided to use his spirit blast again. We were surrounded by no supernatural beings whatsoever. He just decided that's what he was going to do to get all the targets.
NBC Spirit Blast.
It minorly hurt the guys clad in mega damage armor, but the poor little SDC village that was surrounding you
Shattered.
was leveled, and all the people therein killed. So, again,
anyways, all right. Let's get back to vampires.
So immortal martial artists are not evil. We're talking about vampires; those are evil. Okay. But now it is time. So now we've discussed differences and how you actually get rid of the actual vampire. The only ways to actually get rid of risk vampires.
And that's fantastic.
I think now it's time to talk about Reed.
Doc Reed.
The mercenary
oh my gosh.
who believes so much.
Okay.
He believes so much. We all love this book, right? Or actually not.
And we also love this book
there's we got a lot of books. This one, we'll save this one for later. Isn't Reed in that one?
Yeah. Reed's in this book and I'm that book.
Yeah, but we're going to use this one. Cause that one's
all right. We have Doc Reed.
Because this is the one where, and there you open up, you open up almost right to him.
Doc Reed.
A God-fearing man.
And a guy who's got... I love how... Okay.
No, he does. He's like...
In the original Doc Reed...
Yeah.
Doc Reed was, I think, aberrant or diabolic.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure
they did an update of him in this book.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to use this one, because I like the update better.
In this book, his alignment, anarchist, with delusions of godhood and aspirations to be beloved hero and champion of the people. Doc started out miscreant. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's why I wanted to do
has
this
developed pure, genuine love for the people of Mexico,
yes.
and a twisted sense of purpose and destiny. So... he's not evil anymore.
See, he believes...
He was evil. I was like, holy cow.
See, he believes in God.
I love how they updated each character. Each character, if you go through every single page, each character has changed their alignment to something better.
Now, this is why we touched on necromancy, because he has a necromancer working for him.
On the team. And you know, the crazy thing is, in the 10 years that he's been fighting vampires, people love... Planktal Nocturne. because they want their ancestors, the victims of vampirism, to save them, and he is more than willing to have them, they're fallen, save the people, because then, Planktal, what he does is, after he's saves the village, he buries his zombies and removes the zombie curse, right?
Yes.
So, and the people love him for it. I'm like, holy crap, that's so twisted. That's so weird.
If you want your loved ones back, who better to go to than a necromancer?
I know. Biomancer. Biomancers!
What if you can't find a biomancer? Because biomancers have to be a high level to do what you're talking about, but
and Plankton,
starting first level necromancer can raise your family for you.
He has unprincipled and principled tendencies, although he's aberrant evil.
Well, yeah, but
with his twisted code of honor.
Yeah, but insanity. He's pretty crazy.
He's changed. He's a changed man. He remains sadistic and manipulative and cruel. He still loves to influence pain and inflict pain and death.
Mm-hmm.
And one must wonder what might be, or what might do if he didn't have the vampires upon which to sate their desires.
He's a sadist. He loves it. He loves hurting vampires more than he loves hurting people. So that's a good
and
thing.
He loves that the people run to him like little kids. Give him a hug. I mean, and of course, because he's aberrant evil, he's maybe mildly annoyed. But the fact that he gets food, shelter, women. I mean, people are flocking to him to give him what he wants.
Who wouldn't love him?
And
he makes them dice.
Exactly. Out of bones.
Yeah.
Roll the bones. Roll the bones.
Roll the bones, yes.
And then he's got, of course, an undead army of thousands. Oh, jeez. Then they go into Lazarus.
The knight and his
Lazarus?
dragon. Okay, this is a modern day couple for everyone. This is an example of two bad people bringing out the worst in each other, but
they're codependent.
But they make it work.
Oh,
they're codependent. Yeah, they are codependents.
Their codependence is awful.
They need each other's bad, selfish, and nihilistic tendencies. Otherwise, this relationship wouldn't work.
Oh my heavens! And it just so messed up.
In other words, the next in Reed's box of toys, there is what's his name? Sir Raoul Julius. He is a corrupted cyber knight.
Yeah.
And his lover
Lazarius.
Lazarius, and his lover is
Carlotta
La Blanca.
And now in the original book, it was Carlotta the Black. Why? Because we all speak English.
White.
Or white. She was white. She was a white dragon.
Still is.
Blanca. Now they changed it to La Blanca, which is cool. I love it.
So evil knight, evil dragon. We've all read the book. Okay, yes, they're evil.
So
they're
awesome.
horrible people. But that's how it works.
Then they have Paquita.
Paquita, the faceless one.
And
changeling.
I thought she was a changeling.
Or is she just a master disguise?
No, she is a
right?
changeling-like being, but she's not. If you look at, let's see, horror factor, age, experience, disposition, insanity.
She hates vampires. Okay, the first one known as the Avenging God in Spanish. She is sin rostro. That is faceless.
Shape changer from another world.
She's a shape changer from another world.
Other types of shape changers, as far as she knows. She's
the
only one of her
species
on the planet. In other words, you think she's a changeling
in
traditional sense, but she's not.
Or what I'm thinking is possibly a Nightbane, or from Heroes Unlimited.
Ooh.
An experimental hero.
I like that.
The experimental hero option does say this was a complete accident and this cannot be replicated. So
right, that
is how you could create a shape changer. That is the only one.
I like that. I like that each of these characters are uniquely different from each other.
They moved Grizzly
Carter.
up. Grizzly Carter. He's an elf. He's an elvish ranger, and one of the few good people on the
Scrupulous good.
Yeah, he's like the only.
He hasn't changed alignments.
He's the only good person in the party. He's their conscience. He's Reed's Jiminy Cricket. That's exactly what he is. Little Metal. I love Little Metal. Show him the photo Little Metal's like a giant happy clown. He's great. That's exactly what he is.
Huge guy.
He is. What is he actually? He's not a Pogtold, is he?
He's
What race is he? Little Metal.
Heritage,
he's
alignment. No, that's Little Metal is a Side Stalker. The guy we're thinking of is
we're thinking of Metar. Sorry, that's me. We showed you Metar the Destroyer. I'm sorry. That's Voyeur Cly. I love Voyeur Cly. See, Reed has two Side Stalkers that both work for him, in case you're wondering how they...
Are they wild Side Stalkers, or does it matter?
No, they're wild. They're both wild.
They're both wild.
Or no, I think Vly was a Coalition Side Stalker.
One's Coalition?
She's the Coalition Side Stalker. She's got a crush on the Elvish guy.
Heritage. I love how they call it... They don't say race, but they say heritage. Where are you from?
You read the background. She's a Coalition Side Stalker.
Insanities.
Where Metal's a wild one.
I love that they made him separate. They made him different.
Little Metal is described as something that the wolf dragged in, even though he's a Side Stalker. So yeah, he's just...
Spitting image of her mother, and shares her name and fighting spirit. She's less of a lone wolf. Little Metal is the girl.
Did I get him backwards? I got him backwards. I'm sorry. I got him backwards. I'm sorry.
Cly is the guy, and Cly
You're Cly the hunter.
Is
You're Cly,
experienced warrior, not a leader. He realizes this and actively avoids the mantle of responsibility and leadership, staying in the background or playing the clown rather than leading the good men to their deaths.
Yes. Voyeur Cly's that guy who just shows up. Yeah, he's that guy.
I played that guy.
They think he's irresponsible. They don't think much of him. He's always there, and he always comes through, and he does whatever you ask him to do.
He thinks Lazarius is a pompous windbag,
yes,
and Collada is a smooth witch.
Yes.
I'm saying witch instead of the other word, but and a devil.
Yeah, well, she is.
But you know what? You almost have to be the devil in order to beat the devil. And so the fact that these guys are almost teetering on wickedness and righteousness at the same time. And in a weird, selfish way, they've created an environment for themselves that works. The people love them. They're able to do wicked things by destroying wicked creatures. They're righteous heroes, but they're totally wicked on the inside. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's the shiny apple of Snow White. Apple looks great on the outside because they're doing a great thing, but they're totally just twisted on the inside.
I always took it, I take it as it takes a monster.
To beat a monster? Yeah. One of those things, though, it's like... what's the saying about being the good guy until you become the villain?
Oh. Die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's it. And I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, they've lived too long.
They might have.
But anyway, and the last one is Metar. We didn't. What actually even is he? Metar the Destroyer.
Oh yeah, here we go. Heritage. What unknown DB. One of fewer than a dozen have survived Rift's Earth, arrived like so many DBs as an unwilling victim, in his case, brought to Earth by Splugorth slavers.
Oh,
but his family managed to escape
the
Haroon captors offshore.
From a game master from a Rift's game master standpoint, when Kevin made this character, he made him using the Splugorth transmutation charts for making supernatural beings, yeah. So that's how they made it.
NBC armor transformation special, something that the guy can do. He's discovered at the age of 32 is that his natural body armor turns into MDC armor when traveling on a ley line, and the conversion is 2 SDC points to 1 MDC point. That becomes a point-to-point conversion at the Leline Nexus. Moreover, damaged natural body armor heals at a rate of 1 MDC per melee round. This guy heals fast. I mean, not super fast. But every 15 seconds you got a point back.
Which brings us to something else we need. Finish what we're doing, but there's something else I need to
okay.
bring up.
Likewise, the Giant's augmented strength becomes the equivalent of robotic strength on Lelines and supernatural at a Nexus. Mital calls his great gift from the ancestors, but realizes actually knows very little about his people.
So he's like grandma. So he's like grandma's fruitcake.
Yep.
The longer you put him in a magic oven, the harder, tougher, and stronger he gets.
Oh my gosh! Woo! Okay.
Now, what we neglected to discuss, of all the many problems that you're going to have fighting Rift vampires, is how quickly they regenerate. I've looked at other games. In D&D 5e, vampires regenerate pretty quick because, like trolls, they regenerate, on their turn, every turn, right?
That's right.
Rift vampires can do that as well. In D&D 5e, vampires, werewolves, and things that regenerate is typically no more than like a single dice.
Couple of points.
Or 10. It's like for a troll, it's 10 points. They get 10 points back for every turn. However, this regeneration can be nullified or negated with the application of acid or fire.
And do you have
and that's
to
true for D&D
choose that you're healing?
That's true for D&D.
That...
Well, yes, because because that's why it's called regenerate. You don't waste an action; it's a free action.
So it's automatic.
It happens automatically. Now,
I love this. Thank you, Kevin Long.
Kevin Long did this.
15 seconds.
You pull it out,
and
starts
boom,
to smoke,
he's back on his
and then
feet.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, in 15 seconds, the vampire is back, which is what we were about to discuss. The vampire, in 15 seconds, will have regenerated 2d4 times 10.
Bioregeneration. Hit points bioregenerate at a rate of 2d6 points per melee round, so an opponent may see his adversary healing before his very eyes.
Oh, yes.
While all supernatural beings and creatures of magic have remarkable powers of bioregeneration, a vampire, unless disposed of properly, can recover from any amount of damage provided a single piece of him remains. Mm-hmm. A vampire can regenerate physical damage at a pace that no other known creature can equal.
And I looked into why they say that is, because for a lot of other creatures in the Palladium world, it says that they heal up quick, but there's usually a magical cost to it or an ISP cost to it. Or they have to be near a ley line, or there's some other caveat that has to be in play for them to heal that quickly, but not the vampire. The vampire will heal that quick anywhere, anytime, any day, any place, no matter what.
I like it. So, I think the part of that.
So while we've been standing here drawing on and on about how hard they are to kill, well, guess what? They also heal super quick. For all you can find stuff that will damage them
over and over again. They turn into a mist and just walk into a corner and wait 30 seconds. Boom, they're back in action, man. And everything that you did for the last 15 seconds trying to kill that stupid thing is nothing.
Well, it's also
it was totally a waste of time.
Well, it's also
all the ammunition, all of the all the silver bullets. Waste it. Do not waste your time thinking that you can just like shoot him once or twice, and then he won't be able to heal. Well, he heals so stinking fast.
Let me tell you why it gets worse. Because all Rift vampires are psychic, right?
That's right.
That means that they can also have the powers of bioregenerate and increased healing. They can take those, so they can.
That makes it worse.
So they can spend, which is actually how I do it when you guys fight them. All of my vampires always have that, and I always have them cast increased healing on themselves. So that way, now they are regenerating 2d6 after every turn.
Oh man!
Every turn, every
single.
Now it's every action, not even every melee. Now it's every action. They are healing 2d6 every second.
Bing.
Every 2 seconds.
Bing.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my heavens! All right, but yeah.
As a GM, that's how you leave your vampire hunters one way to get the monster and one way only.
I liked how the natural
So, I shouldn't
progression
laugh
of
about
this,
this. This
of
is
this
horrible.
game
These are terrible frightening
is
terrible frightening monsters.
it went from Reed's Fort Reed,
Yes.
to now several Fort Reeds.
Oh yeah.
And several, now you can be a member of the Reed Rangers, okay? Trained and taught by the Reed Rangers on vampire, and you get a plus 20 on your vampire lore. You get vampire combat of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously get vampire weapons. They introduce you to vampire techno-wizardry weapons.
Oh yes.
And by doing that, they expanded the vampire.
That crossbow that you see in the movie
know?
Van Helsing, that's there.
Oh yeah,
Just a machine gun that shoots wooden or silver stakes. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
only it's magic.
Well, it is magic, so yeah.
So-
You don't. So again, you don't have to worry about spending all that money.
Oh, dude, the two books.
The weapon just magics it.
I was reluctant.
Uh-huh.
Now, the one thing I miss the most. You got the original book here?
Yeah. What
I'll show you what is missing in all of those books.
Oh, we're talking about the hierarchy now.
Nope.
No.
It's all there. That's all there. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Bone cruncher.
Nope.
Oh, Send in the clown.
The
Send in
vampire clown.
The vampire clown.
Oh my
Yeah.
heavens. That is missing in this book. I mean, they've kind of put all the pieces somewhere in the Rifts universe. Okay,
Vampire
you can get
clown.
your hands on the circus creation or the traveling entertainment company kind of thing.
I think
They've
I
got
honestly believe this is
obviously.
I believe that, and it's come way early. But I guess that's good for those of you that want to make this. I think this is the scariest podcast we've ever done.
It is?
Well,
Oh my gosh!
We've been telling them about how invincible vampires are, and now we've also
yeah.
told them the vampires can also be clowns.
Oh, yeah. Demon clowns. Vampire demon clowns. That's right. Little Johnny is under the...
Can you fight it?
No! The thing can turn to mist, for heaven's sakes.
You don't want to fight it?
No, Stephen King's It is now totally viable. It's totally viable.
It
You
would
can
not.
totally have it.
No, it would not be. The water in the sewers is always constantly running. So
Oh,
yeah,
fine. True.
Yes, I know.
But he would trick little kids.
Rich vampires don't float. No.
No.
Uh,
Everything floats down here, though.
put him in a treehouse instead. We'll do a treehouse.
Treehouse of Horrors.
Oh, poor Bart. Alas, we knew him
It's
well.
true, though. Think about it.
Krusty the
Would
vampire.
you like to play with us?
Krusty the vampire clown just lures him up into the treehouse.
I know, and it's
never,
over.
And we never saw him again. There we
Oh
go.
my heavens! That's the one
Free
thing I
game
did like.
ideas.
I love
Your government
about
is
this.
here for you.
Um,
Have a stipend idea here.
so all three
no, a
books.
surplus. Have a surplus idea. We're giving you some free surplus.
If you get your
Your
hands
government.
on all three books, it's totally worth it. If you get your hands on just the two new books, still totally worth it.
Because that's what we have. Because we have the remastered. They've done both of these, and these are
The
they.
source book and the Vampire Kingdom.
So
book,
I'm sorry, we've got
okay?
a glare. There we go. Okay, now you can see and read. There we go.
But then you have the OG.
We do have the OG. And so, we discussed the vampires, we discussed Reed's Rangers. Reed's Rangers are the heroes that are out there. We've also given you some free gaming ideas and run that vampire campaign to the best of your ability.
Oh my heavens, yes.
Nate,
Between those two books,
now, Nate,
should be
you
able
have
to a year or two.
Oh, we
campaign.
do need to discuss that. We actually do need to discuss the mythos. Now, in Rifts, vampires in the world of Rifts operate sort of along the lines of it's a virus or a transgenic virus, as Hunter the Masquerade
Because
would say.
it
Because
changes you
it's
completely.
passed from person to person to person. Only
Right.
it's a little rougher in the world of Rifts because a lot of what you were doesn't normally stick. Now, when you choose to play as a vampire, it's the player's choice. But even as the player's choice, the player honestly the player remembers very little
of their history, which
of who
makes
they were
for
before they
great
were a vampire,
role play because
which-
then you can really kind of make your history,
So-
and the GM can say, "Oh,
And
you
that's
bumped
just, and
into
that's
your
just, and
sister,"
that's
and
just the
you're
way,
like,
and that's just the way.
I
of
don't
it.
recognize her.
Yes, and that's just the way of it. Playing a vampire in the World of Rifts is like playing a hero that has amnesia.
Yeah, and trying to put their lives back together.
Because when a vampire is created, the soul, the body, who the person was before, is stripped away, and
you're
they
just
are,
an
and
empty
they are
husk
now,
with the voice that.
and they are now part of the. I don't want to say
collective.
well, we could say it that way because how do vampires come into being? What do they have?
They have a fragment of essence of a vampire.
From a vampire, what?
Intelligence. I did
Now,
like that too.
We have wild secondaries, which are the basic.
The classic.
Those are the classic. The master.
Mm-hmm.
Demon familiar, but there's only one of those. And then there's the actual intelligence. Up from the master, there's the vampire
That's true,
intelligence
yeah.
itself. What does the vampire intelligence look like, Nate?
An ugly thing with tentacles and a lot of snapping tentacles at that. It's similar. I want to say it's similar to the Splugorth, but not.
No, it looks more like
It looks-
if you've ever seen picture if you will, like a
Let me
bacteria.
see if I can find it.
No, a bacteria cell actually is what I always thought it looked like.
Bacteria cell?
With eyeballs, yeah.
Oh wait, I'm looking. Wait, am I looking at the right book?
All right, so I got you right.
There you go.
I got you right here. Or I guess like a Yogg-Sothoth, if that.
Yeah, that's.
So that is the vampire intelligence.
And you'd
But
say,
but
it looks
again,
a lot like the Splugorth.
The eyes and the biting tentacles are like they're like all around it. So that's why I say it looks like a bacteria cell. Because if you've ever seen a bacteria cell, it's just a little lumpy thing that's got a bunch of squiggly
Have you seen them?
arms coming off of it
Yeah.
that help it move. They help it move around.
Yeah.
So what they've done. That's
what they've done.
That's what they've done. They've taken a bacteria cell and they've covered it in eyes and
And
tentacles
teeth.
that have biting mouths on the end of it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, Splugorth hate vampire intelligences. They're not
do.
bros. They're not friends.
They are not
And-
friends
and
at all.
in the source books and whatnot, they reference that, and they don't actually say necessarily. They reference it because it's already brought up in Splin Mike, the Splin
slave
Market, right?
Splin slave market.
And it's also brought up in Rifts Atlantis.
We're book number 2. Where we're going next?
That the Atlanteans and the Splugorth, for that matter, fight against vampires.
Yes, they do.
So
They're dedicated to
they've got a purpose. They've got a, they're evil, but they're not stupid. I guess.
Well, the
if
vampire
that makes sense.
Well, again, the vampire intelligence is like an old one. It's an interdimensional being. It straddles dimensions.
It slowly
it's here, but
puts
it's not.
essence everywhere.
And again, its essence and its grounding in the actual world will depend on the number of masters it has, and by proxy, how many
number
vampires,
of secondaries and
the number of secondaries and wilds that.
Now,
that
here's the
serving under
crazy
it.
thing: in Rifts Earth, they've got 6 of those bad boys. Actually, 7 if you count Ours No,
Ours no counts.
which is right
Ours
behind
no
us. That's a lot of supernatural intelligences.
That's a lot
really
of that's a
close
lot
to
of
each other.
old ones to be plaguing Mexico. Yeah.
And the fact that they've also got the Splugorth on top of that, and other creatures, the creature of the deep, and oh man, we're talking about a
Good timing.
yeah.
Thanks, Alexa.
Yeah, no kidding.
And now we discussed the hierarchy. Yes, in the World of Rifts, the vampires stem from an old one class entity, and it is
love it
a
too.
sickness
I
of
love
the
it.
worst kind, a viral sickness of the worst, most terrible kind you can imagine.
And it's fun. They created a world that is really a fun place to be, and you could play that game for months, if not years. You could build a reputation that matches, if not exceeds,
Okay.
Doc Reed.
Now, Nate, We're
Yeah.
now we're gonna do something fun for all the people at home. You have a dice modulator on your phone, right?
No, but I have a lot of dice in the next room.
Well,
What do you want? You want me to grab some
you
dice?
need to go grab some dice. 'Cause
Give me a...
Yeah, we gotta do something fun. We're gonna do
Talk
something
amongst
fun.
yourselves. I'll give
We're
you
gonna
a
do something
topic.
fun for all the kids at home. Well, I'm gonna tell them what we're gonna do, but you just hurry back. Okay. What we're gonna do for you all, ladies and gentlemen, because you can actually do this down in Mexico, thought it'd be kind of fun. It's gonna be kind of like a little role play session here. I'm gonna have Nate here make a traveling circus.
Awesome. Oh, just so you know, I'm going to break out my special eyeball dice.
Oh, yes, you got eyeball dice.
Ooh,
so the first one you
They
need
got
to
floating
roll for
eyeballs
me.
in 'em.
So, designing and creating your traveling show and your traveling circus. So first off, let's see how big it is. Nate, roll a d6.
A D6?
Yes, Nate, roll a d6.
One.
This is a sideshow. This is a very small show, usually consisting of about 6 to 12 people only, including the show's
6
owner,
to 12
performers,
is
and
not
operatives. A typical sideshow offers a combination of entertainment, minstrels, tumblers, acrobatics, etc., etc., fortune tellers, and so on. The oddities are mostly inanimate objects, especially including supposedly alien devices, previous artifacts, stuffed animals, strange and monstrous skulls and skeletons, and usually one live freak. This can be a player character or not.
The
The
tallest
sideshow, yes.
midget.
Gross, man. The sideshow usually runs on a shoestring and will have very few resources.
Okay.
All right, step 2. You're going to roll a d6 again.
D6 again.
Let's see what your features are.
1.
It's not 1, that's 3.
Is it? Oh, 3.
That is a 3. Your small sideshow is a criminal show of small-time bandits.
Booyah! We're making money!
The traveling show is run by a gang of brigands who use the show as a means to steal, smuggle, and gather damaged or reconnaissance information for resale and extortion, spy, or assassination. You also sell illegal or fake merchandise and passports. Yeah.
And passports.
Wow. Why does it say
You
that
know what? I
specifically?
didn't.
Okay.
Do you use
yeah, wow.
passports in your game?
Sometimes.
In the World of Rifts?
Well, it depends on where you're going. If you're traveling in between coalition states, yes,
yeah.
you need a
Make
passport.
sure you have your papers.
The Magic Zone does that too. You need papers.
Magic Stones ask for papers?
Yes, they do.
Really? Wow.
Well, they have to make sure you're not a coalition guy. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that makes
All
sense.
right. Now, so as criminals, well, that's 10 points anywhere you want. You need to remember this. So that's 10 points anywhere you want.
10 points.
30 points in the criminal activity. So on the criminal section of this, you're going to have to roll a couple of times. All right, outfits. Roll a d6.
Oh, roll a D6 again.
Roll a d6 again. All right.
2.
Everybody has utility outfits. The show has a standard uniform for all of its employees. Colorful costumes, or in your case, probably gang colors.
Gang colors.
So we know what everyone wears. Everyone has to wear the same thing, and they only get one. No armor. All right, roll equipment. Roll a d6. Let's see what kind of equipment you guys have.
Oh, tell me I've got good equipment. 5.
Okay, traveling gang of criminals has a medical clinic.
Hey,
Your traveling show is equipped with full medical facilities, including a small medical clinic.
You know what that means?
You have a full-time doctor.
People come to us.
And a psychic healer.
So we might be criminals. We might be swindlers.
Yeah.
But we also heal people, which means we have a value.
You also have an emergency medical budget of 1d4 plus 2 million credits for cybernetics, hospitalization, and covering other holistic and
I like
military-based
this
costs.
already.
So,
I got
yeah.
it. Oh,
Vehicles. Let's see what vehicles you guys are driving. Roll a d6.
oh my heavens.
I guess you only need a 6-sided dice. I thought the
One.
option was 1. Vehicles. None. Can you run, fly, swim? God, I sure hope so, because you're not getting a ride from the company.
Crap. Wait, I got medical equipment. I got awesome medical equipment.
You got a medical equipment and no ambulance. That's
my
great.
heavens.
Oh, communications. Roll a d6.
Oh my heavens. Please let it be good.
3.
3.
A secured service. You have 2 long-range radios, and all personnel have a walkie-talkie. Hey, good job, man.
There we go.
Everybody has a cell phone, and you have 1 radio.
And we're not gonna die.
Security. Let's see what your security's like. 1.
No, not the one.
Gang of Thieves.
The one is
none. No security whatsoever.
Oh, my
Anyone
heavens.
can just walk in. And
My
out,
medical
and
equipment.
employees are not secured or screened.
Well,
at
that's
all.
okay. We're criminals, right? We're criminals. It's fine. We're criminals. It's fine.
You're
They're not
Disney
gonna.
World.
Oh my heavens! No. Okay. What else?
I can feel your pain, and I love it. Now, so no security. Let's see what the next one is. Hold on. Military. Let's see what kind of military presence you have. 2. Basic defense. You may not have any security, but you do have a small number of basic arms.
I'm not gonna get wholly robbed.
Well, everyone goes healed. So this is why you don't have security, because everybody's walking around armed.
Everyone's got freaking bionics.
No, not bionics, but everybody's walking
Remember
around.
my medical team.
Everyone has a laser pistol. No, you can fix cyborgs. That doesn't mean you are cyborgs.
That I am. Right. Okay.
All right, and now, the acts. This is where you're probably going to want to spend all your points here. Oh no,
I got 30 points.
We haven't done criminal. We haven't done rep. We haven't done general alignment. So we're going to do acts, and you're going to spend 10 points so that you can have 2 rolls. So let's see what 2 acts you actually have in your show.
Well, D10 or D6?
No, this one's actually a D20. You get to roll the D20 twice.
D20.
You still roll a 1.
Oh my heavens, it's terrible.
Nope, that means you have clowns.
I've got clowns. And 15.
A real magic act. You have an experienced wizard. 1d4 plus 3 level ley line walker or mystic. And his assistant. Has one lovely assistant performing an exciting but safe magic show using real magic. Illusionary magic is ideal. Levitate, fool's gold, trance, escape, fly, superhuman strength, invisibility, so on and so forth. Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
Plus, it also says that, this is where your healing comes in.
Woo!
Your real magic act. And, let's go one more. Let's give him a little something more. Roll that one more time. Let's see what we got. We already have evil clowns.
More clowns? More clowns?
8, thank you. Boy.
Holy
three
crap.
Three ones in a row.
3 not ones.
Oh, you also have an expert sideshow barker. You have a ringmaster. You have a loudmouth that actually stands out there. This is a charismatic individual. In other words, they have an MA of 20 or higher, who stands outside the tent wagon and shouts descriptions about the wonders and shows exhibits, and describes everything. And it gives like stats for him. Yeah, his
That's
MA
cool.
is like
incredible.
Has to be a minimum of 18. So yeah. All right, let's see what the general alignment of your brigands are. Roll a d6.
6.
All right, Robin Hood, you and your company members are all scrupulous or principled. So
what?
So no wonder you have no roving security. You trust everyone. We're here to help
and entertain. Never mind that we were. How are we former criminals then?
I think that the local government
Repentant?
I think the local government has probably branded you criminals because.
Oh, there you go. You're Robin Hoods.
Like I said,
stealing from local governments and giving to the
Robin
poor.
Hood. Now, criminal activities. You got to give me at least 2 rolls on this one.
Okay, a D6.
No, D12.
Ooh, D12.
Yeah.
This is gonna get nasty.
Yeah, always
nasty
does.
real quick. Here we go.
There he is.
1. 1. Okay.
Dude, again? Okay, hold it. Let's see what 1 is. Okay, 1, criminal activity. We're right back to the medicine man. Wow, same as the barker. You've got someone who performs illegal cybernetics and illegal healing and stuff like that. So,
well, I got the equipment. I've got the stuff.
Well, it's kind of funny how the pegs just kind of line up. Even though this is all randomly rolled and y'all are watching this be randomly rolled, it's kind of funny
heavens.
how the pegs just kind of line up sometimes. And number 4, expert worms. 2 warriors trained in espionage. Craziest woman scout, etc., or city rat. They're experts in disguise, intelligence, tracking, radio basics, surveillance systems. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you're blackmail, counterintelligence, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
Knowledge warfare. So, yeah, you've got 2 guys who are experts in finding people's secrets so that you can extort them. And then you roll a 6. Okay, this is going to be the last one, 6. Oh, a team of pickpockets. So, apparently, you and all your married friends have
we got to
trained
pick from the rich.
Yeah,
maybe.
so It is typically a group of typically a group of children with a specialized bonus in pickpocketing, palming, prowl, and appraisal.
Prowl.
So yeah, team of pickpockets. So there you go. And let's see what your reputation is. Roll a D8. Wow.
D8. Here
Roll
we
a
go.
D8. Your reputation.
My reputation's a 4.
You are known. The show has been around for a couple of years as a good source of entertainment and product, though not legal.
That's true.
And
well, think about it. I got illegal bionics. I got.
there are no rumors about you having been involved in any real criminal activity or negotiations. However, you tend to draw bigger and more excited crowds. Police and local authorities are going to start showing up and asking you all the
paperwork,
all the right questions at all the wrong time. Yeah. So. And that is your traveling sideshow of
I love it.
Clowns and a real magic act.
Clowns
that also have a real but illegal healer and also a real but illegal medical clinic, which you can't get to because you don't have any cars. And
dude, I changed that one. I changed it to Vans or something.
Well, I'm sure that if we were running this game, the very first thing you would do...
That would make a mild adjustment, but it sounds fantastic.
Well, the very first thing I'm sure that you would do is run out and steal some vehicles. Yeah, the first thing you do
That's
is...
right.
We need a van, so we need to go steal a van. There we go. Anyway, I just want to do that for you guys and wrap that up. And
my heavens.
World Book 1 Rifts is set in Mexico. We missed it. I know, we buried the lead. We buried the lead, I'm sorry. There's a lot of Spanish in that game too, but that is where the vampires and rifts hang out. Just to cover that last little bit for you. A lot of you are
speaks
fans.
Spanish at 98%, and so does all of his buddies.
Oh yes, and the new books themselves have a lot of Spanish in them. But I just wanted to cover that, and we have discussed vampires, we've discussed Reed Rangers, and your coalition government has now officially been to Mexico, and we have to say we're not fans.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. It's a scary place full of...
Oh, yeah, but you know what? We would
sickness and
totally play this game. Totally.
You guys can go there,
Absolutely.
You guys can go there.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic...
If any of our local citizenry want to check it out, bon voyage. and be sure to let us know.
We'll check you on the way back
and be sure to tell us what you want done with your stuff.
Because we don't think you're coming back.
We have faith, but not hope. Thank you, everybody. This has been the show. Like I said, it's been a little longer one. We want to do something fun for you, discuss about Mexico vampires and how they work and why Rift vampires are the worst and most dangerous creatures you're ever going to come across, and they're awesome for it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir, citizens. There will be links when we post this, so you can follow us on our other games.
Absolutely.
You can find us on Discord, as well as Twitter again. Mm-hmm. The Twitter's been having some issues, but I fixed it. I fixed the Twitter account. So.
I'm on Twitter, too.
Yeah. No, sorry, TikTok. We're on TikTok.
TikTok now?
I got that fixed, too.
Oh, I want to see that.
I got that fixed.
Big time.
I got that fixed. So, there we are. You can find us anywhere. So, thank you very much, citizens.
I'm going to have to start doing TikTok.
Yes. I'm Matt.
I'm Nathan.
Carry on, citizens. Carry on.
Take care.